Think I should turn the fan down, or you think it's good?
Oh, I didn't even know it was on.
I'm looking at our things. You could barely see him moving on there. You can't hear that over there. It's blowing us a little bit. It's like there's an old man over there just going.
That'd be gross and hot.
It would be hot, wouldn't it?
Especially during COVID.
Old man breathing on you.
Yeah.
Gets the blood flowing right to the good spot. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
With a family size bag. And I know she'll never eat them because she doesn't like fucking peanut butter. So
I don't like fucking peanut butter either.
Oh, I love fucking peanut butter, especially when there's a dog around.
wow.
You know
what was the funniest thing ever? One day, me and I don't remember who.
I don't believe this story.
No, it was me and Mauser. We came home from the grocery store. But we came home from like a grocery store or something, and we joked around all of the store that we should buy a bunch of peanut butter because my dad's gonna use it all when he makes the dog like the peanut butter off his dick. And we were laughing and all this shit. We come home, he gets out of the shower and walks over to us, and he goes, "Hey, you guys should have got peanut butter while you were out. It's all gone." And we're like, "What?"
I don't.
And we're staring. We're like, for a second, we're like, "Wait, did he somehow hear us talking about it?" And we're like, "You're kidding, right?" He's like, "No, we're out." And he showed us the jar, and we're completely out of peanut butter. So to this day, I think my dad puts peanut butter on his dick for the dog to lick it off.
Wow.
I think that might be why Ross died.
And then he kisses Jerome's mouth.
Yeah. No, it's not Meemaw and Barney. Did we tell you that story about Meemaw and Barney?
I don't believe so.
I'll tell you this real quick, and then we'll start.
Right.
This might make it in anyways. When we were little, I don't know how young we were, but really, really little. In Meemaw's backyard, we're all swimming, and Willow randomly decides that she doesn't decide she needs to take a shit. She has to take a shit, but she decides to go take it in my grandma's bushes.
Oh.
So she goes over to the side, takes a shit in the bushes. Instantly, her dog Barney. Yeah, same house. Barney runs over. The bush is right next to the pool. Barney runs over there, eats the shit, and then later on goes inside and starts kissing my grandma. And she's let him kiss on the lips. It's going in her mouth. All this stuff. So we were all like gagging and laughing. And we're like, "Oh my god!" And we didn't tell her for like a year and a half. We didn't tell her for a long time because we were like. And then after she's like, "Oh well, whatever. I love my dog." And we're like, "Yeah, but do you love Willow's asshole?" Because it's like you're looking that up.
The worst part of that story is that
Willow's insides.
Willow shit in the bush.
Yeah, and it's weird.
I hope she was like 4.
No, she was at least 6 or 7, at least. Old enough to know better for sure.
Next time we go over, you have to show me the bush.
Oh, I will. We can take a picture of you.
Hess is like, I can top that.
Hess is like, I'll take a shit there. We'll see if Noah eats it this time. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Random Ramblings. I'm Jerome.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Hess.
So, every week we've started off this podcast with a fun little improv game.
Fun's a stretch.
Hey, you had fun playing it.
Okay.
It may not have a good outcome, but you have fun playing
All right, I got you.
So the one that I found for this week, and I was thinking maybe we'll take a break next week, maybe I'll let one of you two come up with a good intro of the podcast. We'll see. But it's called Story Swap. And one of us starts telling a story, and then randomly one of the other two, so say it's you and you're telling some story about Omar Little, something, whatever you want to tell a story about, we just go, and now it's our turn to start telling the story. And then we start telling the story until the other person claps, and you just go on until the story can't be told anymore.
Okay. I'm just not going to... I'm going to make you tell the whole story.
This is going to go great, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, don't go along and don't clap because you think it's funny and you want the person to just keep rambling on and telling a story. If you should at least clap within a minute of someone telling a story, I feel like.
I would hope it's a lot less than a minute. There.
Yeah, me too, but I'm saying for Nick because he's an asshole. He'll just sit there this whole time fucking eating a bag of carrots like a little rabbit over there.
Who eats carrots like that? Jesus.
Nobody.
Nick does. He goes...
Why would a rabbit have a bag of carrots?
You eat carrots out of a bag?
No.
He does all the time.
I fucking hate carrots so much.
I showed Taylor that part of the podcast the other week of you being like, I hate carrots. They taste like, what do you call, like wet chalk or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't understand that.
I mean,
I don't think he's eating the same carrots that I do.
I hate most vegetables. If they said you have to eat one vegetable for the rest of your life, I'd probably pick carrots.
Just dip it in
corn?
Dip it in like
I hate
ranch or buffalo sauce. Oh, I love corn. I could eat corn out of someone's ass.
You can eat anything out of anyone's ass.
That's not
Corn
true.
on the cob is the best,
I
right?
w-
Corn on the cob.
yeah, corn on the cob
better.
is good. Real good.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't stand that shit. But
But so she didn't get it. I thought you were gonna say she agreed with me, but she didn't.
no, you're weird. No one ever agrees with you with the
Oh
shit.
yeah, sorry, I forgot what we were talking about there. Yeah, no, she didn't agree. She didn't agree with you
It's
at
been
all.
a minute.
She did say carrots aren't that good. She agreed with you on that.
Yeah, I just don't like carrots. I
But
think they're
she
fucking
was
gross.
like, wet chalk. What the fuck does that even? Why does he know what wet chalk tastes like?
He doesn't.
And I was like, well, when he was little, he used to dip chalk in water and eat it. He's a weirdo. All right. Well, Hess, would you like to do the honors of starting the story? You can talk about
Sure.
anything you want in the world.
Sure, I can do that. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know if I had to clap or.
Yeah,
if you
clap
were-
first.
No,
If you're gonna
we
say
clap.
break or something.
He
you know,
says
I don't
one
know.
word, we clap.
Once
Yeah.
upon.
So last night we went to dinner with Abby's parents. We went to a. All right.
And you wouldn't believe it. In the middle of the dinner,
Jerome took out his cock and started fucking flashing at the waiter.
You see, Jerome wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
He is in my story
Okay.
because on the way to dinner, Hess picked him up and said, "Hey, whatever you do, act normal tonight because I'm going to ask Abby to marry."
To eat my ass. She's been wanting to do this for a long time now, but what she doesn't know is inside my asshole is a wedding ring. So when she sticks her tongue in there, it's going to fit around her tongue.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm going to be like, bam, babe, I popped the question.
Mm-hmm.
It really opens up a classroom. So then so I get to the restaurant,
With Hess, and I was like, you know what? My
Yeah?
idea of having her eat my asshole is dumb, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it in your asshole for you to hold, so when I need it, I'll just pull it right out.
I'm not clapping. Keep going. You want to change it that much? Go ahead.
and then Jerome's like, oh, okay, cool. And then he just fucking grabs the wedding ring and
Hold on.
fucking
This isn't a clap. This is a question. I guess you're just about to explain. Is the wedding ring in my asshole, or is the box for the wedding ring in my asshole?
just the ring.
Okay.
So that way he can, like, reach over.
How big's the diamond, Hess?
Probably like 3 carat.
Well, 3 carats, huh?
Because you didn't like carrots.
If I just put 3 carats on like a fucking wedding day. Like, hey, if you ever eat this, it tastes like wet chalk.
That would be really funny to
Wet
do.
chalk in Jerome's asshole.
Oh, that's made the name of my biography.
Do I have to keep
You
going?
can keep going. You're
I
saying
mean, you literally said someone better clap within a minute, and then you guys just both sit there giggling.
Well, because you changed the story so much. Keep going, though. So what were you about to say?
I was saying, when he needs the ring, he fucking reaches.
When he needs the ring, he fucking full-on fists my asshole, pulls the ring out. There's blood and shit and all else kinds of caca all over it. He gets down.
What the fuck?
He gets-
Blood and shit.
He gets down on one knee and he goes, "Abby, what's her last name?
What?
What's her last name?
Abby.
Abby, will you marry me?"
And she says, fuck.
And she goes, unzips her skin. Turns out Abby's been a fucking lizard this whole time.
Oh my god.
Her home planet is Mars, and Hess married a Martian. End of the story.
It's amazing.
All right, we'll tell one more story. Who wants to start?
Oh fuck, I don't know. How do we top that? I started the last one.
Okay,
All right,
but
you start it. I'll let you get more than a sentence.
it's got to be a butthole-free story.
All right, no buttholes in the entire story.
No butthole.
Who's
All right.
starting? You're starting?
Or is Hess,
So-
Hess starting?
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Maybe we
Right.
should do something other than clap. If he clapped and we didn't know.
Let's should we yell interruption? So
Wow.
so then it really gets through.
Yeah.
What if you just go? What if you just go?
That'd be a lot of bleeps. I'd rather just yell interruption.
What if you just? It was like either or something like that. Like any of those.
All your nicknames?
All right, scallywag. That's the interrupt. All right, so last night, me and Abby went to dinner with her parents, and it's local. It's close by. There was not a lot of people there. All right, there was like a black lady. Might have been a lady. Might have been a man.
Interruption.
Like lady.
It's
Scallywag. Sorry, scallywag. Scallywag might have been a woman, might have been a man. He doesn't know. But what he does know is she gives the best head on the planet. She snuck under that table and was sucking his dick like no other.
Scallywag. That's not what happened.
That's what he wanted.
I think you just add out of the story, but whatever.
So it was a black person. Okay, I'm just gonna say black person.
You've made that tremendously clear.
Wait, hold on. I got one question. What race was she?
She was black.
Oh, okay.
It was black. I don't know if it was a guy. I don't know if it was a girl. Anyways,
she knows it was black.
They bought this like butch lady a shot. Like a butch lady, like a dyke, a lesbian.
Oh, butch. I thought you were saying a bush lady.
So did I.
And I was trying to does she live in the bush? What's going on with her?
Well,
hey, I'm gonna take a shit in here.
It was Willow.
Korean, because you guys' faces were like I was speaking another language. I'm going a butch woman.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then the lady was like, oh, thank you or whatever, and she bought the other person a beer. So then the black lady comes over and starts talking, and they start arguing because the black person wanted to get with the butch lady, and the butch lady didn't want to get with the other one. So they were like bickering and arguing and screaming for like 45 minutes. And then the black lady turns around. Then there's like other people sitting at the bar or whatever. We're at a table, and they're like the black lady starts talking to the other people at the bar, and she's like trying to pick a fight with them. And then they get up and leave. The butch lady gets up and leaves. Then the black lady turns around and starts talking to me. And she's like, you look like you have something on your mind and you want to say it. And I go, I'm just having dinner with my family. I go, we're just watching the game, just trying to ignore it and get it over with because like I don't have anything to do with this. So
I'm a little afraid where this is going.
Yeah.
She leaves. She goes back over to the bar. The butch lady comes back in, orders another drink. They start arguing again.
Jesus.
The bartender, it's like a little bitty, like petite girl. She's probably 20 pounds less than you, and probably 4 inches shorter than you.
Jesus.
And she's like,
girl.
you need to.
She's a midget.
She's like I could kidnap her.
She's like, you need to pay your tab and leave. She's like, we've asked you over and over to stop with the, screaming and the yelling and the arguing or whatever. You're bothering other customers. Like, you need to leave. And then the black person's like, why do I need to leave? What am I doing wrong? Like, I own this place. Like, I am the sole owner of this building. She's like, I could have your job if I wanted to.
Jesus
and she's like,
Christ.
Yeah, so the lady's like, the bartender's like, I'm going to call the cops. And she's like, go ahead. She's like, I'll make sure they put a warrant out for your arrest when they come. So I'm like, oh.
Turns out the black lady was Al Capone.
I'm like, this is fucked. I'm like, so anyways, she calls the cops or whatever. All right. So it like
sounds like she should have called them like a long time ago.
Yeah. 30 minutes go by and the cops still aren't there. So the black lady turns around, comes back over and is like right here and she's like, don't you have something to say? She's like, I can see it in your eyes. You have something to say. Why don't you say it? And I go, and so I was like in the middle of a drink. So I set my glass down and I stand up and I said, why don't you you need to just fucking leave. And then Abby jumps up and she's like, get out. She's pushing me. She's like, let's go outside. We're not doing this. It's not worth it. And I'm like, I ain't got to do anything. I just want to fucking tell the dumb bitch to leave. Like, fucking get out of here. Like, what the fuck? Like, and then finally, so we get outside. The cops finally show up as soon as we step outside. So then I'm outside smoking, and Abby's out there with me, and the cops, they go in and get the person. She comes to the parking lot, and then like the cops are like, they ask for her like driver's license or ID, and she gives it to him, and she's like, "That's me. That's my name. I'm Ginger." Or whatever. Who fucking names a kid Ginger?
So at this point, you still, she's talking to you, you're looking at her, you see her name, still don't know what she is. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well,
no evidence if she's a guy or a girl.
I'll never know.
You never know.
I'll never know. The cop was like, look, like, we're just going to trespass you. They asked us to trespass you, and then you're free to go, but we want you to go home. Do you have a ride? Do we need to call you a ride? Do we need to... And so the black lady is like trying to convince the cops to book her or to arrest her and take her down to the station so that they'll fingerprint her. And the cop's like, we're not doing that. Like, and she's like, no, but I think you should. Like, that's probably what's best or whatever in this situation.
That's weird.
And she's like in the cop's face, like fucking pointing her fingers at her and shit. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking witness like somebody getting shot. Like, I'm like, this is nuts. Cause like the person is literally like, I felt uncomfortable and there are 2 cops present. So I can only imagine how they feel. I mean, they have guns on their waist and stun gun or whatever.
Tasers.
Tasers, yeah.
They got one of those. They pull off vibrators. Scallywag, the cops had vibrators.
Yeah, but so then there was like a black person at the bar, another black person. He was just a black dude, and he walks out and he's talking to the one cop away from the lady talking to the other cop, and then they walk over to the people and the one cop's like, "Do you know this guy?" And the lady was like, "No," and she was like, "Oh well, he's offered to take you home, to just drive you home. Do you want to go with him or do you want to call?" And then they got in her car. They got in the guy's car and left.
Wow,
that's weird.
That's a nice guy. I wouldn't let that bitch get in my car.
Yeah,
I would kind of thought the story was gonna end with Hess giving her a ride home somehow.
I was a little afraid the cops were gonna shoot the other black guy.
Oh, he comes out and they're like, "That's him, actually.
Shoot him!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pa pa pa.
That's crazy. So.
Why didn't you record it and put it on TikTok?
Yeah, you should have recorded it. I could have cut that shit in here as you're talking.
Yeah, well, just
next time some person at a bar starts screaming at you, it's, "Hey, Abby, record this."
I smoked 2 cigarettes, and Abby said it's the fastest she's ever seen me smoke a cigarette. Like the first cigarette I smoked, because like I was like adrenaline was all going and shit, and like she's like, "You're done already?" She's like, "I still have over half a cigarette left." I'm like, "I guess my adrenaline is just flowing."
So
I wasn't gonna do anything. Like I wasn't gonna. I mean, obviously, if the person like swung at
yeah,
me,
I was just gonna say she's like, "I know you got something to say," and as soon as you stood up, but she just like hit you in the face, what would you have done?
Yeah, I would have hit back.
Like drag her out by her hair,
Yeah.
drag her out front, close the door and lock it, and go, "Let's have a beer."
But see, here's the thing. Like I've only ever been in like 2 fights. I've only ever been in like 2 fights because. God, fucking Abby's blowing me up. Apparently she can hear me talking downstairs. She's like, "Don't forget to tell him this. Don't forget to tell him that."
That's funny.
Say,
"Hey, just come in here and tell a story."
That's funny because you're not even loud. Like usually you're yelling.
Yeah, usually be like, "So this fucking cunt was in there." But no, it's just normal Hess talking.
So the when we were outside, while the lady was still there before the cops showed up, I guess she went over to Abby's mom and stepdad and were like, "Yeah." Like in her face, like, "What's your name? Like, who are you?" And then she was like asking him for a ride and shit. It was fucking
that's weird.
I can't believe.
Yeah.
Where were you at?
It was a place. It's a place called Tukey's.
Tukey's?
Yeah, it's just a little local bar. Like
I feel like they let it go a little too far.
Yeah, I do too.
I was talking to the bartender after, and like she said, she called the cops 45 minutes prior to them showing up. And they said that as long as the person wasn't spitting or coughing on people, that they had other priority calls.
I've actually heard that because of COVID, like I know a lot in LA, crime's gotten real big because like even like someone breaks in your house, they're like, "Yeah, whatever, like we got bigger things to deal with right now." So like little crimes like that are happening more and more and more.
That's what happened when my house got broken into. Nick probably remembers. Like our house when this was.
It was your friend though, right?
Well, that's what we think potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was like 5 hours until they showed up.
Yeah, and I like Bert Kreischer's house got robbed and cops barely showed up. Probably like a month ago now, but they mentioned it on one of the 2 bears, and then he was like, "Yeah, the cops were like, he's like, are you gonna like fingerprint and like figure out who did this?" And they're like, "No, we don't do that now."
That's exactly what they
it's
said.
not like it's murdered.
Yeah, he's like, unless they were coughing on all over your house, then nothing's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? I was earlier today. The camera just went out.
You still got your camera? I'll fix that.
Okay. Earlier today, I was actually thinking about that. How the dude like took all your shit when you were working at the same store I was?
It's because I didn't erase the last podcast.
Fucking Jerome fucked it up.
I think I was working at Scottsdale or with Ace Vito out there.
Oh, really?
I believe so. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was, but I could be wrong.
Maybe you were just coming around then and you told us, because I just remember other people talking about it, like, what the fuck? Like, and then I remember Clements specifically talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, but you could have been at Ace Vito's then and just told everybody.
It could have, yeah, who knows. But yeah,
But it's just weird that I was thinking about it and then you bring it up.
that is weird.
Because, like, I don't even know why I thought about it.
It was like, I think it showed up on...
So what?
It showed up on my time hop. It was like, I think it was like October 1st or something like that.
Oh, really?
Because it showed like my post or whatever. I think it was like October 1st.
What'd you post it on?
On Facebook. It was just like, came home to the house being robbed.
Oh, really?
Today. Yeah.
It
had like a bunch of comments on it. I think you were like, damn, that sucks. Or something like that.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
This episode of Random Ramblings is brought to you by therealpleeka.com. I've been really working hard. I've been really working hard adding stuff to our site, trying to make it fun and unique. And, well, it's a website. As you can see here, we got pictures of every show we've covered on here. You can click on Westworld. You go to a playlist on YouTube. Has every single episode there. Same with Game of Thrones, so on and so on. We got buttons on the side that brings you to Spotify, iTunes, anywhere really that you can listen to a podcast or watch us. There's a button somewhere on this website for you to click and find it. Also, we got the same things on gaming. I got Walking Dead. I got Detroit Become Human on there. We got Until Dawn, more coming soon. Against All Odds on here. You can listen to Nick and Hess gamble and ramble and finger each other's rectums for all I care. And potentially merch coming soon to this website. Nick is in charge of that, so if you would like a Pleeka face mask, a Pleeka t-shirt, maybe some Pleeka panties, tweet at Nick and say, hey, mofo, let me get some of that stuff, dog. All right, back to the pod, baby. Well, we've been going for 30 minutes, so would you guys want to get into Fargo so we can not have this be an hour and a half long podcast, or
yeah,
want to just make out?
Let's get into Fargo, because I do not want to make out with you.
You sure?
Yeah.
I could turn to Endless Love.
Friends listen to Endless Love in the dark.
We got a red Amazon Echo coming in the mail, Hess, that'll be on this table so we can have Alexa back on the podcast.
Oh, sweet beans.
And she's going to be connected to lights in my room, so we can have colorful lights in here too.
Fucking exciting.
Why is it red special or something?
I don't know. It just let me have. It was like, it's one of those like fatter little Echo ones, and you can pick whatever color. So I was like, oh, I'll make it red.
Is it like the one I have?
No, it's not a tall one. It's just one of the little fat ones. It's like this big, and it's got like it's got fabric on the outsides.
All right, I got you. It's mine has fabric on the outside.
Oh, does it?
It's just black. You can't really tell, but so you have like a little chode. You got a little Amazon chode.
Basically, yeah. I should have just called it that.
They should market it as the Amazon chode.
They would have me more interested. That's for sure.
Wow.
They would have Mima interested. Is that what you said?
Me more interested.
But Mima might be interested. She just has an Amazon dot. She'd be like, I want an Amazon chode.
Wow.
You should. Oh my God! You should call her and be like, "Hey, did you see that Amazon came out with a new Alexa?"
I actually.
And she'll be like, "What?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, it's called the Amazon Chode," and see if she even gets it.
I wonder if she even
wouldn't.
knows what a chode is.
She wouldn't get it.
I'd have to explain that part to her.
It would not be worth it.
Yeah.
It would be funny though.
It would be. We should have a Hess caller one day. I still think we got to get Dick Dog and Smokey back on the ground.
On the
ground.
Back on the ground.
What's that saying? Back on the road, maybe?
On the road.
Back on YouTube. I don't know. Hey, what about Fargo?
Is that your cue to go?
That was my transition, but all you did was get stunned. I asked you how's Fargo, and you said I was looking at me like I was eating carrots out of a bag over here.
It's cold.
Carrots.
You talking about the show or the
Will
city?
you read your fucking notes?
Oh, I
you little ninny bitch.
Did you watch the movie like you said you were going to?
No. When I was editing the podcast, I was like, I'm not doing that this week.
He was busy. He was busy as balls this week.
I was kind of. I edited a lot of shit.
I'm not saying
I forget how many hours
around.
Because like my Walking Dead video was an hour and a half, and then I did 2 Until Dawn videos this week, and then I did, what's it called? Against All Odds on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what you were pointing at.
I don't know why over there to me made you think Against All Odds. Against all odds.
Yeah, it didn't at all. All right, I'll get into this, or you'll just keep talking.
You should have little corners of your room for all the shows that you do.
I should. We still gotta get more of these other shows. You gotta get one of those with like the sexy you and Hess. I should actually. Never mind, that'd be spoiling it. Never mind, forget I said anything.
Okay, like for Christmas or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
All right, A Muddy Road, episode 3 of Fargo.
Muddy
Fargo.
Road is what Hess used to call the way to a butthole.
Remember when I said no more butthole talk?
Yeah, that was in the story. That was just an improv game
Hess
turned into
was-
a real life story.
Hess was dying to tell that story.
What? I died. Right when he started, he's like, so me and Abby went to dinner with her parents.
Damn it! He's like, aw.
So since we're on Fargo, I want to bring it up because I will forget, I feel like. When Billy Bob Thornton goes and buys the Adderall.
You can just say
Yeah.
BBT.
BBT. When BBT goes and buys the Adderall.
Or Malvo.
And he goes, whatever, act like it's because the guy says something about the zombie survival kit. And he says something about it being a dog-eat-dog world.
Doggy
Yeah.
dog.
For the longest time, until that episode, I thought it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Oh my God! You thought it was Snoop's world we were living in?
Snoop Dogg.
I guess they said that, and I was like, wait a minute, it's dog-eat-dog world? And I was like,
Yes.
oh, that makes sense. I always thought, I always wondered why it was called, it's a doggy-dog world.
This motherfucker's been living in Snoop's world his entire life.
That was crazy.
don't even-
That blew my mind watching it.
You don't even
You got
smoke weed.
at Snoop Doggy Dog here. That
But
is hilarious.
I was like, wow, I never knew that.
So what happens when that guy gets pulled over by the cops?
He's fucked.
He doesn't.
If he ever does, though.
He drives the van. Why would you pull him over?
Why did BBT have to kill that dog?
Yeah, that was
I
fucked up.
know.
All right,
Abby
That made
was
me. He went
pretty
down. He went down a
bummed.
bunch of ranks for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him. Now he's down here.
I'm glad we're talking about this because I watched it like on Wednesday and I vaguely remember it.
You know what I've been doing, because I'm usually off on Thursdays, is I watch it on Thursdays and take notes. And then, like, today I rewatched it because I didn't remember what happened. Like, I remember what happened, but because I've seen it before, I don't know where it starts and where it ends. You know what I mean? Just to make it fresh. Okay,
Just make it fresh.
Let's make it clap.
Just make it fresh.
All right, well, so it starts off with Billy Bob Thornton yanking. We find out the guy's name's Phil.
We just keep getting back to this panty guy, and I love it. The more panty talk on this podcast.
He just yanks him out of fucking work.
The one thing I do really like about Billy Bob Thornton, which I thought about in this show, he's kind of like the white Gus,
The White Gus.
where like he's like a badass, and like anytime he's in a scene, you're like, oh, something kind of bad's gonna happen here, and then
Kinda.
he just walks in a room and like everyone respects him and all this shit. Like I could see Gus yanking out, like when he cut, was it Hector's throat?
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. Like he
Oh,
just walks
really?
in, grabs the guy's tie, drags him out there, and then he undresses the guy, has a knife. The guy does nothing, and it's like it just reminded me of Gus a lot in this episode.
That's funny.
With the stuff he does.
I could
It's
kind
like to me, it's like if Gus and Mike, like if they had sex and had a baby, that would be
That'd be
Billy Bob Thornton's
Thornton.
character in Fargo.
Wow.
Can you
Uh,
see that?
What?
Can you see that? Like not them having sex. You know, you gotta envision
No.
that. But if their characters combined.
It never dawned on me before. I kind of I see where you're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Because I feel like he's like has the business smarts and the brains, and not like Mike's stupid, but like all that of Gus.
He's
But then has like the trained talent of Mike when it
Mike,
comes to
yeah.
doing that. Like when he's in the house and casually walks out and closes the door and walks away
there's something.
while the guy's walking down the
there's
hallway.
something more evil about him
That
because
hasn't
he
happened. Oh, I thought you were gonna tell us. Like,
no because he's like he also likes to fuck with people.
yeah, like with the pig's blood at the end and
Yeah, like
shit
all
like
that stuff. Yeah.
And when he had the kid piss in the gas tank in that first episode,
Yeah, or-
I thought more stuff was gonna come up with that shit, but that was just him fucking around.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He
That was-
just, like,
it's-
he just. I think the whole reason he started it with Lester is because he just kind of like fucking around with Lester.
You just reminded me with talking the Lester stuff.
Mm.
I thought when I started this episode, I was like, oh, wow, I don't know if Nick is just bad at not trying to give spoilers or if he just forgot. But like two podcasts ago, Hess is like, do we ever find out what he was doing in Fargo or whatever? And you kind of gave Hess shit for like asking like you were like weird about it. And I was like, episode 3, we find out why he's in Fargo because he kidnapped that guy and then he crashed the car and all that. Like the whole opening of this episode was explaining Hess's question, and I was like, oh. There you go. But I was glad we got that because I was like, oh, okay, there is an answer to that. That he just kind of, it is just kind of he happened to be there, but he kidnapped the guy and did that.
Yeah, I totally misunderstood that then because like I thought he meant Duluth because he said I could have sworn he said Duluth because it was when Colin Hanks pulled him over. That's what I thought.
No, I think that's just what made us like question it.
Yeah, no,
I was glad it opened with that.
Yeah, it kind of like I forgot that it shows where he got that guy from and what he did. You know what I mean?
I did think it was funny too when all those people are there talking about him and they're like, "Oh yeah," like they're saying all shit about him. The guy's like, "I think he had sex with a child," and like, "Hey, don't spread rumors."
It was gambling.
Yeah, and there's like, but it was definitely gambling.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're all talking shit, spreading rumors.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny too.
I'm trying to. I wrote down a bunch of shit, but I don't want to like get too into it.
Does it go like frame by frame? I liked when the Hess kids one got shot in the ass or whatever.
Oh yeah, they're fucking weird.
And the slutty mom.
Yeah.
So that's how. So we watch Billy Bob Thornton do that. Then Molly goes there and watches the tape. She gets the picture of Billy Bob.
Yeah.
She's actually a good police officer.
Yeah, I really like her.
Yeah.
It does have me really interested now, and because you said season 2 is about her dad, the more we see her and him, and like the more he kind of talks, he's like, "Oh, you know that guy?" And he's like, at the end, he was like, "Yeah, he's my boss," and he's like, "Asshole."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, we'll probably see that in season 2."
Yeah. So then Malvo goes to Don, which is Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, I like him when they go in there. Couldn't find a smaller room for us to meet him.
That's what I mean by him being an asshole. And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Never mind."
Yeah. He's like, "Who you want to be?"
I like it. So he's like, "So I have 2 questions. One, why that much money?" And then he starts to tell him. He interrupts him, doesn't even let him finish. And the other question, what was the other question?
Oh yeah, because he just kept rambling. Right? He's like, "Question 2."
Yeah. I didn't write down the 2 questions. Oh, did I? Specific amount. Oh, and what do you know about the money?
Yeah, and he's like, "I don't know. I just know that there is money."
So he's literally blackmailing someone without anything.
Yeah, which is it's still a Dennis move to do.
Yeah, kind of.
Double dipping.
It's almost like more of a Charlie thing to do.
It'd be something that Charlie would do to get Dennis involved in it, and then they'd try to figure it out.
And then Dee would be dating him.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And then the comment is, "You're an idiot." I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then he tells him that he's taking over.
Yeah, and I knew you work for me now and all that.
Did you guys expect him to start blackmailing this guy?
Kinda.
Oh, did you?
When he found out it was Dennis, and I was like, "Oh, I don't see him, at least right away, killing him." I could see him trying to get the money out. I didn't see him going though and killing the guy's dog though.
So Colin Hanks looks up the fucking car or the license plate. Finds out that it's Lester's car, who's a victim. So then he goes and tells his boss, and the boss is like, "You have to go over there." I liked when
that whole part is so weird. He's telling him why he's taking a shit, and he's like, "What? Then he's like, "Yeah, but he was this guy." And then he's like, "What?" Pulls up his pants real quick, runs out to him. I was like, "Oh, you didn't even wipe. There's shit stains all over your panties." I was kind of
thinking that too, especially the second time I watched it. I liked because he said, "You have to go do this and tell him that it's your fuck up."
Oh yeah,
no dipshittery.
That's a Hess quote.
I've never said dipshittery before.
That'd be like what he'd say. He's like, "We're playing another round of Warzone. No dipshittery this time, guys."
Yeah, no dipshittery there, eh?
And he says it's just like goddamn Sioux Falls all over again.
And is that what happens in season 2?
That's season 2.
Oh.
Which is cool that
they keep setting that up.
Episode 3, they were already talking about Sioux Falls. Like, obviously I didn't know that the first time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's season 2.
That's interesting. Do they say? And then Chris Rock's gonna show up.
No, that's season 4.
But do they hint at that?
No.
Like, oh, this guy.
They're like fucking 30 years ago.
A funny black guy shows up.
Was that your Chris Rock imitation?
No.
Oh, okay. So, and then Lester goes back to work.
Yeah, that was weird. He's such a bad liar, too.
Yeah.
He's just a dweeb.
Yeah, I'm still not...
sure.
I'm still not seeing the full... I'm hoping by the end I see it more. The full, like, Walter White connection. Other than, like, the obvious bit of it.
Maybe it's just me, too. There's just parts of it.
Because even in these situations, I feel like... we would know that Walt's lying bad, but everybody else wouldn't.
Everyone else
at this point
seems to be pretty stupid too. You know what I liked is like watching it. So like she's like, "Oh, Lester, did you get my soup?" And he like looks over.
And he's like, "Oh yeah."
And then the boss is like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's like, "What the fuck did you give him soup for?"
Yeah, but I don't know. Little shit like that is interesting to me.
Yeah. I do like the little things in the show, like especially like way later on when the guy from Entourage and the deaf guy show up to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was thinking how hard it must be to listen to a podcast that we're talking about people. Like, I call him by other shows. Hess is probably like that one dude from the thing, and then like you're saying like the real names, like the actors' names. It's gotta be so hard to. But anyways, when they show up and like he's talking to the cop lady, you see them like walk outside and they're like staring at him for a bit, for like a good like 30 to 45 seconds. They're like watching what he's gonna do with the cop, and I was like, oh, that's a good little attention to detail. Like I like that.
I like too how like they drove by each other on the way there.
Yeah, all those little things I think are really good. That's the stuff that reminds me of like how much they put thought into like shows like Breaking Bad or Saul or stuff like that. Good shows.
Yeah. So when he's at work, they tell him to go to the widow Hess's house. Which did you think of Hess when he said the widow Hess?
Yeah, they're gonna go over to Hess's house.
So the two boys are outside fucking shooting arrows.
Yeah, you're looking at the signs like it hits it.
I did right. So then he talks to the lady. He's like gonna take a little longer. Obviously, she didn't give a fuck about her husband.
Yeah, no, pretty cool. I mean, she said that he didn't change much since high school.
Well, and then he met her like in Vegas.
Yeah, and she's like, I was a dancer. Oh, I was a stripper.
Talking about her son, she said, I've taken shits that I want to live with more than them.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually rewound that and made Mom watch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you're like, think about Jerome there?
She did.
Wow, what a fucking bitch.
Just kidding.
Yikes.
And then as she's like getting up on him and asking, what do I got to do for the
she's
money?
like flashing her vag to him and all this shit. And then the boys are like, what?
Yeah.
And then you got ghetto. What is his name? I'm thinking. you got like ghetto Polly in the bushes.
Yeah. That was interesting. So like he's getting a lap dance almost from the Hess's wife. The kids are out back like, what the fuck, and they shoot the other kid in the ass. And then you got the other dudes in the bushes over there.
I like too. Oh, so when I watched it, so like they shoot them in the ass. She's like, what the fuck, and then like they're looking at that. The first time they showed it from the widescreen, I didn't even see the guys there.
Oh, really?
And then the second time they like showed, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even see him.
Yeah, I saw them. I was like, oh, that's interesting. They're like, because like they're trying to find out what happened to Hess, and they're gonna see that and think, oh, so he's trying to like. So like in that situation too, when they were talking, he could have easily have just been like, oh no, she's just trying to get her money faster. Well, like they even took a little bit of explaining to them, but being like, no, I work here. She was just trying to dance. I'm gonna get her money.
Yeah,
it does look really bad though.
Yeah.
Well, how about
I feel like he could have explained to other being like, oh, I don't know Hess.
How about this? Well, he does know him though.
Yeah.
How about this? How about report your car stolen when fucking Billy Bob
there's
takes
so
it?
many little things that he just doesn't do that. Like he could get away with this crime so easily in this dumb town, but he's dumb too.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a box of rocks.
So and then the next scene was when he buys the Adderall and the fucking.
Zombie Survival Kit.
Yeah.
I thought it was when that guy that
was that like an ode to something, or was that just you think it was just? I
was just gonna say that guy looked a lot like Jesus from The Walking Dead. For a second, I thought it was. So I was like, I don't know if that's a little thing. If it's just a joke and it just happens to look like that, but he looked a lot like him to me.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't.
I just thought it was really a random thing.
It is random, completely random.
To toss in, so I thought maybe there was like a movie or something they were kind of like tipping the old cap to or something.
It probably is, but I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
We should do some research.
We should do some research.
Wait, I'm gonna do some research real quick right here.
So Molly goes to lunch with a friend.
That was weird.
And then you get the baby spider story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl, I could not be friends with that lady.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody could. Like,
well, Molly could.
Was she, though?
I mean, she calls her friend later on.
She said when she was having sex with her boyfriend, spiders came out of his neck.
Yeah, that happened to Hess last week.
So then Billy Bob goes to Milo's house and kills the dog that looks just like Brutus.
Yeah, and then he adds all the Adderall to his normal. What are the pills that he takes? Do you know?
It just said acetaminophen when I looked, so it's technically
which is Tylenol. Yeah.
He takes a lot of it for just being Tylenol.
It's not good for your liver.
Liver alone.
Liver alone.
But yeah, I was upset that he killed the dog too.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people that is like overly worried about pets.
See, at first when he got there, I was like, oh, he's gonna drug the dog. And then he walks away and you see a bunch of blood out there. You're like, oh no, he killed the dog.
And the dog, it looked exactly like Brutus.
Yeah, it did.
So right before Numbers and Wrench come to Lester, what were you just talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And Then Molly shows up. He's fucking with his hands really fucked up.
Yeah, and he's like doing shit within the sink.
Yeah,
It's real gross.
Yeah. So then Molly shows up, fucking interrupts them. They leave.
Yeah. He pretends to give them like pamphlets.
They played that off pretty good though.
Yeah.
The other
see you
two.
later, Lester.
Yeah. God, that guy's good at being an asshole.
Yeah.
But then she drops the fucking picture of Billy Bob, and that freaks him out.
Yeah. See, that's another situation where he could have just played it off so well, and then she'd be like, "Oh, maybe I was wrong." But then he's like, "Oh, no, it's time for you to leave."
Yeah. Now, in that case, Walter White probably would have tried to kill her in the next scene.
He would have next either the end of this episode would have been him trying to kill her, or it would have been like him planning to or something. Because he'd be like, "Oh, she's on to me."
Yeah.
It would have been Jesse. We got stuff to do, Jesse.
Yeah, I could see that.
Was that Batman calling Jesse?
It's Walter White when he's really angry. Turns into Batman.
So then Billy Bob has the new ransom note, and he's like, now they want $1 million.
Yeah, and then he's like, I think I should move into your house. Because, they already killed your dog. They might come back.
Yeah, that's wild.
Isn't that?
And then Shemetkov, or whatever his name is, like...
I thought you were going to get this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just smiles at him, too, when he says that.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, I'll get him.
He's like, I watched you take a shit in front of me the other day.
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't bring that up. Like, this motherfucker shits in front of people. You want him in your house?
This fucking guy took a shit in front of me, eh?
So then Colin Hanks is looking through mugshots with his daughter, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of tells her that he fucks up. She's like, well, you need to tell him in person.
Yeah, which is good he did.
What else is the daughter in? I feel like we talked about you guys.
She's in a couple horror movies. She's in The Flash. Her name's Joey King.
Because I feel like I recognize her from somewhere, too.
She's in a ton of shit.
Yeah, her name's Joey King.
No relation.
To us? No, that's our niece.
I gotta say our dog again.
No, that was last week. She was our dog last week. Now she's our niece.
Molly goes to Bob Odenkirk and was like,
oh, yeah, she admits that she showed the picture.
You're a way better lawyer than a sheriff or a fucking chief, whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
He gets pissed off.
If Saul Goodman heard about this case, he'd be all over it.
Yeah.
But fucking...
He's the fucking moron.
Bob Odenkirk in this.
Yeah, he's not good.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a good actor.
Yeah, definitely. But his character in this is so frustrating.
Yeah. So then Gus gets to Molly's precinct and is like, hey, I want to talk to someone. She overhears and kind of...
Oh, yeah. Right. She's like putting like files away. She's like, what? Lester, I can help you.
Yeah.
What do you need?
So then she interrupts and takes him over.
I really like that when he's in the middle of telling her. And she's like, this guy? And he's like, holy shit, yeah. How did you know that? And then they start talking about it. And then he's like, "What? And it wasn't Lester driving. It's this guy." And like they explain the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's funny too because the whole time like, oh, if you just talk to her, you're not gonna feel as bad because you're helping her out a lot actually. And like, and so on. Like they really do help. But he's like so nervous. He's like, yeah. So he looked kind of scary. And
like he's not gonna get. No one's gonna be like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. If anything, it's like, oh, thank God you came here.
And then they go, hey, you want to go to Lou's and get a burger?
Yeah. With some a milkshake and some bourbon.
I like it when he puts down the milkshake and says that, and
he's like, nope. And then she's like, he's just kidding.
No, he's not.
Never mind.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. They're like.
So Lou brings up Sioux Falls also.
Yeah, yeah, we get it. That's gonna be season 2, guys. Calm down.
Yeah.
But they didn't get it.
They knew.
Lester steals the taser from his brother.
Yeah, that part was interesting.
Says what?
Goes over there, and then which one of these will make the biggest hole?
And then there's a little montage of him shooting. And
I feel like I've seen that in a promo for the season 1 when it was coming out.
That was funny when he's like fucking.
His eyes were closed the entire time too.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's taking a shower, and fucking blood comes out as he's reading from the Bible.
Yeah.
I read I looked up the trivia shit, and then it was whatever he's reading has something to do about blood too. And I mean, it was like
it seemed fitting.
It's like one of those things where you read and you're like, this is way too long.
Yeah.
You know.
And so that's the end of the episode.
That was it.
Did you guys see the things I sent you on Twitter about they started today filming You season 3?
Yeah,
I did see that. I meant to reply.
Pretty dope.
I didn't mean to reply. Did I not reply?
Nope.
No.
Taylor did. You two didn't. Assholes.
Sorry.
I'm not.
My apologies, Jerome.
I accept your apology. Nick, on the other hand, he can eat a dick. Oh,
That's good. I'm glad.
Really
glad
far from me. Is it week 9?
Yeah. I forgot to even tally these bitches up. Fuck.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Well,
it's time for Pleeka's picks. At 12 p.m. at night, you could hear Hess jerking off and screaming, Omar Little. Omar Little.
That's just gross.
Omar Little.
After week 8 was a terrible week for all of us. Myself and Jerome went 5-8, and Nick went 7-6.
Jesus.
You guys went 5-8?
So Nick won.
Yeah.
Nick won 2 weeks in a row. That's bullshit.
Jesus.
I'm going on strike.
Yeah. And we all have the Bucks going tonight, so we should have one more win.
Oh, so I'll be 6-8, 9, 6-8.
You only get one win. You don't get a win.
I don't know. It's 8 losses.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I haven't known how that works all week since we've done the show. I've just been saying, "Cool, I got points."
All right.
Cool. I got points.
Okay. And here we go. Thursday night football. You have the Green Bay Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers.
I will
What's
pick.
so funny?
I was mouthing as you were saying it.
I got you.
I'm gonna pick the Green Bay motherfucking Packers, and if they win, I'm gonna put cheese all over my body and lay outside it so it melts on me.
Okay.
Well, it's supposed to be 95 Thursday, so you
I'll do it then. Is that
won't take long.
okay?
I'll take the Packers also.
You gonna put some cheese? Throw some cheese on that shit.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to pick them as well, even though they got boat race in the NFC Championship game last year. New York Football Giants at the Washington Football Team.
Wow, they both suck. Humongous cocks.
Fumungous?
Yeah. I'm gonna do the Giants for all my giant White Walkers out there.
I'm gonna take the football team.
You picked a lame team. Okay, good for you.
I'm taking
loser.
the WFT as well. Chicago Bears at the Tennessee Titans, who just lost to the Cincinnati Bengals this past week.
The Bears.
The Titans. Last time I confused Hess.
I am going to take the Titans as well.
Look at you two teaming up this week. Why don't you guys make up by the
Detroit
end of this?
Lions at the Minnesota Vikings.
It seems like every football team sucks.
I took the Vikings.
I'm gonna do the Lions
Vikings.
for my Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's out there.
Wow. Not the Lemons?
Mm-mm.
Carolina Panthers at the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'll do Chiefs. They're 7-1. They seem almost undefeated. Almost.
Almost. There's only one undefeated team. I'll take the Chiefs, too.
Me as well. The Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Wow, they are exactly the same. I guess I'll pick Jaguars for all my pussies out there.
You pussy? What are you, a pimp?
Yeah, all my pussies out there.
I'll take the Texans.
Maybe that money, bitch.
I'm going to take the Texans as well. Baltimore Ravens visiting the Indianapolis Colts.
Ravens, Fred Garland Poe.
Ravens.
Da Ravens.
I'm going to take the Ravens as well.
Damn, doesn't he take his own team?
Seattle Seahawks traveling east to face Jerome's Buffalo Bills.
Obviously picking the Bills because they'll win. They'll go to the Super Bowl, and I will do Buffalo Bill on Twitter.
I hope you're right, and
Mhm.
I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Fuck you. Hope you're wrong, and you get raped by a leprechaun in your sleep.
You can dress up in green.
Yeah, I'm going. Oh, I'm after your Lucky Charms.
I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm gonna go crazy.
Go crazy. Go stupid.
Denver Broncos traveling to the Atlanta Falcons.
What a fucking barn burner that is.
There's some trash ass games
Yeah.
this week.
I'll do Falcons, I guess.
Me too.
No reason. I'm just picking them.
Yeah, I don't really have a reason either.
I'm gonna take the Broncos.
I'm gonna.
Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Los Angeles Chargers.
I'll do Raiders, and they'll see if they find their lost ark.
I'll take the Raiders. Fuck it.
You want to fuck every single member of the Raiders?
I'm taking the Raiders as well. The Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Dallas Cowboys.
Steelers, obviously, they're 7-0, and I'm named after Jerome Bettis, so I feel like I'm obligated to pick them. You know,
We're all picking the Steelers.
even Hess. Wow,
Yeah.
Nick
I think hell just froze over.
You said we all are. I thought you picked them for me.
Well, were
Yeah,
you gonna pick the Cowboys?
I have to make it official.
Were you gonna pick the Cowboys?
Do I have to make it official?
I mean, if you want, you can.
It's official.
I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Nick chose the Steelers.
The Miami Dolphins visiting the Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals.
We'll see, pal. We'll see.
I'm going to take them as well, even though 2 players tested positive for COVID.
Tell them to stay indoors, losers.
Losers. Sunday Night Football, you have the New Orleans Saints visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both quarterbacks over 40 years old. Who do you got? Tom Brady, Drew Brees. What do you got, Drew?
I'm gonna pick New Orleans Saints.
I'm gonna take the Buccaneers.
Oh, Buccaneers.
They got 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, I ain't picking Pirates anymore. Last 2 times I picked Pirates, you've won. So fuck
I'm going to pick
Pirates.
the Bucks. Best game of the week, Monday Night Football,
Oh, so that's
Patriots
Sunday
at
night.
Jets.
Jesus, they're 0-8?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
they're bad.
I guess I'll pick the Patriots.
At Jets. Best game of the week here.
Patriots.
I'm going to pick the Patriots as well.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious for that one too. That's a pretty easy one. Bunch of shitty teams against each other.
They haven't played yet.
It was easy. We all picked winners. We're all gonna go 10-0 next week.
10-0. There's more than 10 games there, Chief Nugget.
Nope, we're gonna 10-0 and that's it.
Chief Nugget. The others are gonna get canceled for COVID.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there and cancel the games. Don't ask me how. All right, you guys ready to wrap up this Chicago hot dog stand?
I wouldn't mind a Chicago hot dog.
All right, well,
Just one last thing.
yeah.
Keep living in the doggy dog world, baby.
Snoop Doggy.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, go to therealpleeka.com, or go to Random Ramblings Clips. You know, if you don't want to watch this entire podcast, even though now you have, because you're hearing this at the end.
Go watch the clips anyway.
Go see some clips. You can see us talk about Hess getting fingered.
You
all
might
kinds
see
of shit.
Hess's nips. You might see Hess's nips on Pleeka's clips.
You never know.
Wow. I got nothing to say.
See you guys next week, mofos.